And welcome from Snohomish High School. It is time for Wesco 3A boys basketball tonight. The home team, the Snohomish Panthers, coming into this game with a record of 2-2 in conference play, taking on the Lynnwood Royals. They are 1-3 in league play. Big game for both of these teams. We'll talk about it throughout the night. This could have playoff implications as we get further into the season. Steve Willits along with Todd Elvick on the controls. Tom Lafferty joining us shortly. He's on his way. Starting lineups were just announced as we come onto the air. We're going to go ahead and tune it down on my end and let you enjoy the playing of the national anthem, courtesy of the Snohomish High School Band. White Lynnwood is mixing it up a little bit tonight for a couple of different reasons, one of which we know of, one of which we don't, but we'll find out as the game moves along. And their starting guard tonight, number 1, is Timmy Tang. He's a 6-foot junior. Number 10, not usually getting the start, is Anthony Jew. Three-point ball bounces off and around the rim. That was number 15, Paul Carcel, missing it. We're going to get a foul called on the rebound. Let's see who they call that on. It's going to be on number 20, McDaniel, the first foul of the game for either team. And we continue with the Royal starting lineup. Anthony Jew, he is a 6-foot senior wearing the number 10. Carson Spiegel, 6'2" junior. He's wearing the number 23. Number 33 is Gabe Newsom. He's a 5'10" sophomore guard. And the last player we have yet to announce, number 40, Josh Siskar, a 6'1" sophomore. A couple of names that are missing from that lineup. Your two leading scorers for the season. As that ball floated up from 14 feet out and missed. That was Newsom, rebound from Snohomish. Alex Macias, number 3, he's going to be coming off the bench tonight. Coach said he wanted to mix it up a little bit, so we'll see when Bobby Hinnenkamp decides to put him back in. And then your second leading scorer, Jerry Boston, out with an injury tonight. Down low, shot is good. That was number 23, Barnorden with the basket. Nice assist there. As Jerry Boston injuring his tailbone against Edmonds Woodway last week, and he is day-to-day right now. Lynnwood driving towards the hoop, kicking it back out. That's Tang in the left corner, kicks it over to Newsom. The ball floats into the backcourt. They're going to say it was actually touched by one of the Snohomish players. Tom Lafferty,
hey,
you're in the house.
I'm here.
You made it.
Thanks for holding the tip for me.
Just in time to see Lynnwood's first bucket and one as Newsom gets fouled on the way to the hoop. Puts it up and in, and he's going to go to the line with a chance to make this a three-point play. And Calvin McDaniel, not a good number. You want to get 2 early, but usually 2 points, not two fouls in the first minute 27.
And that's always the tough decision now for Jim Wilson. Is he going to replace him or not?
Free throw missed by Newsom.
So far it's not.
Yeah, we'll see if he changes that really quickly. That is a tough predicament to be in when one of your key players is in foul trouble that quickly, so we'll see what he does. Snohomish looking to take the lead once again. 2-2 is our score. Working it around a little bit. Down to 12 on the shot clock. That's number 15, Carso. Gets the ball tipped into the backcourt by Jew. Drives into the lane, floats one up from 12 feet out on a runner, misses it. Going to say it was last touched by Snohomish, and Lynnwood will take over possession with 6:01 to go in the first quarter.
So there wasn't an explanation why he was coming off the bench? Coach's decision?
Coach's decision, I kind of got the impression that maybe a message was being sent. I didn't get the full message from Bobby Hinnenkamp. Macias is a great kid. I've got to know him a little bit. So we'll see how long he sits on the bench. In fact, and there's our first 3 of the game. Gabe Newsom connecting on the bucket. He has all 5 of the Royals' points here in the first quarter. Jerry Boston, he was very disappointed and dejected when I talked to him, that being Bobby Hinnenkamp, the coach. Did not want to go without having Boston tonight, and unfortunately that is the case. 3 ball fired up. That was Benorden missing the shot, and Lynnwood's going to take over the possession once again.
Well, and these are both teams that just got to get busy. If they want to finish in the top 9 positions, they're right on the edge at 7 and 8 and 9, and you know, one good win here by Marysville Getchell and Oak Harbor, and suddenly you're on the outs at the end of the season. That's
exactly how it is. As number 10 drives to the hoop, that's Anthony Jew, and he's going to draw the foul and go to the line for 2. You're absolutely right. These are 2 teams that I think everybody wants to go into the season thinking they can be a top 2 or 3 team. I don't think either one of these teams is completely oblivious to the fact that they're not one of the favorites in the league, but certainly the 5 through 9 range, the play-in game range, is well within their grasp. But both of these 2 teams getting into the playoffs via the play-in game last year, or making it to the playoff round, I should say, before getting knocked out. And I think that's the ultimate goal for each of these 2 teams. And right now, like you mentioned, Tom, they're kind of on the cusp of things as both of Jew's free throws go in and make it a 7-2 game. And really, when you play games like this, each coach will tell you, this is the game we need. This is the team that we expect to win. Some of the other games against maybe the higher-end teams, you think of those as being maybe more bonuses, right?
You expect to lose. You're going to lose to Marysville Pilchuck. You're going to lose to Shorecrest.
Right.
Okay, we know that. Probably you're going to lose to Stanwood. Maybe then you're going to lose to Arlington. But you got to pick up a couple of those surprise wins.
Exactly.
And especially with the Wesco 3A at one time through the league, you don't have a chance to see. Oh, hey, we get to see later. Shorewood twice. No, you don't get to. You get them once.
Yeah, you get 1 win and 1 win only against those teams. And Lynnwood once again. They're going to say this one was not on the shot. Fouls on Colton Smith as he picks up his first. 4 team fouls already against Snohomish, and we're yet to get even to the 3-minute mark in this game.
Yeah, they're playing tough defense, or maybe too tough.
As we mentioned, Lynnwood with 26 points on the bench right now, 26 points per game. Tang thought about that shot, pulls it back, dishes it over to Newsom. Newsom's going to put up the long shot. He connects it just inside the 3-point line. Gabe Newsom, not even a starter on this Lynnwood team usually, up with 7 points already here, and we're not even halfway through the first quarter yet. Lynnwood extending their lead to 9-2.
Yeah, right there. Leo Tini, the official, is right there, and he just put the 2 fingers down, said now he was just inside the arc, and so they'll give him 2 on that one. But already now Lynnwood's jumped out to a 7-point lead, and that's just what I thought. Jim Wilson says, let's talk about it.
Wilson's going to call a timeout. We should mention the other 2 officials tonight, too. John McInnes and Bill Say are the other 2 on the floor. A veteran crew tonight, a few different guys that we recognize.
Yeah, these guys have refereed a lot of games in the Western Conference. But talking about the standings, Shorecrest, Marysville, Pilchuck now 1-2.
And playing tonight, I might add.
And playing each other tonight. You take Motley Terrace out because they're a 2A team, so you take them out. Stanwood 4, Arlington 5, Everett 6, Edmonds Woodway 7. Now it's getting touchy. 8 is Meadowdale. 9 right now is Snohomish. Lynnwood right now at number 10. Top 9 go to the postseason.
So what you're saying is when you're the 9 and 10 teams and the top 9 are in, it's kind of crucial when you're playing each other, right?
I would think so because one of the first tiebreaker is head-to-head.
Absolutely. Good point. Very good point. The beauty of it is there's a lot of basketball to be played, but certainly, like you said, I mean, you start to go through, and the coaches won't do this, but we will do it for them, and we've already done it a little bit here on the radio tonight. We're able to project a little bit. We seem to kind of think that we know who the teams are that are definite wins and definite losses, and this is a toss-up game.
Well, and I think when you get into this part of the season, and I go back to the great seer, sage, and soothsayer Yogi Berra, it gets late early. Mm-hmm. And, it gets late in the season, and now we're into that 1 month until the postseason starts. You've got to pick up a win here and there to keep yourself in contention. Yeah,
better to give yourself a little bit of leeway early on in the season rather than have to chase later, right?
Right.
So Snohomish still looking for that second bucket of the game. Getting into the corner there, that's McDaniel still in the game, surprisingly enough. I thought maybe during that timeout Wilson would make a change, decided not to. Carter Sparks now inside the lane, kicks it back out. Well, Carcel for the 3, leaves it a little bit short. McDaniel tries to save it, but to no avail. Lynnwood will once again be thrown in from the baseline.
Lynnwood plays, the stats don't show it, but they play tough defense. Mm-hmm. You can see that maybe that's the message that Bobby Hinnenkamp was saying, like, whoever's going to play defense is who we need to have out there on the floor.
They're a scrappy team. They're a scrappy bunch. And guess what? Here comes number 3, Alex Macias. If there was a message being sent to him, I think it was loud and clear. And there we get a pick right now. Anthony Jew with the steal and the bucket. He gets his first field goal of the night. Give him 4 for the game. And without Macias and Boston in the lineup, they are out to an 11-2 lead. Not what we were expecting coming into this first quarter. I should point out Jaden Acosta-Newson also getting put on the bench tonight. He averages close to 12 points per game, and he's also going to check back in. Or I should say check in for the first time. As Lynnwood's going to get called with their second foul of the night.
Yeah, you wonder, and I think coach is feeling the pressure too of what we've just been talking about. Here we are on the cusp. You know what, guys? We can have a pretty good season, and for any team, I don't care who you are, you want to play 21 games. Mm-hmm. Play a regular season, you make it to the playoffs, and then the first step is whatever happens. If you win one, and suddenly you're playing 4 extra games.
Absolutely, yeah. You never know where that's going to go. Once that ball's tipped off in the postseason, it's anything goes type of a situation. So, but I think if you're Bobby Hinnenkamp and you wanted to send a message tonight, you thought maybe you'd even sacrifice the potential victory by doing so. You've got to like the fact you've got the 9-point lead in the first quarter, and now your 2 other key players are back in the game. Down low. Up with the bucket, or the shot anyway. That was Colton Smith still looking for his first points of the night. While Carcel gets the rebound, he puts it in, and he's going to go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, nicely done there as he went in and just was playing tough. You got to be there, pick up a miss, go back in, put it back up, and a chance for a 3-point play.
And we should also mention Smith averaging 17.1 points per game. When you start to look at the league leaders in points, a handful of these guys playing in this game tonight.
Right.
Well, here we go. Smith misses the free throw, and one of those other guys, Mardornden gets the rebound, and they're going to say he traveled in the key, so no basket on the free throw attempt, no basket in the key. Another turnover, and Lynnwood still holding on to that 7-point lead.
Yeah, the leading scorer in the league is Philip Peppel from Shorecrest at about 21.5 points a game. Raycon Battle of Marysville Pilchuck at 20.3. Kyrie Armstead of Motley Terrace at 20.0. And then Cameron Bernorden, 4th leading scorer at 19.6 points per ball game.
And you know who might be a leading scorer before it's all said and done? How about Gabe Newson? A 3-ball in the corner. He now has 10 here in the first period. 14-4 is the score. Gabe Newson coming out firing tonight.
10 of the 14 points. And that's a guy Bobby Hinnenkamp's going to say, we're going to leave him in.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere, especially when he's kind of doing it on all different fronts. He's hit a couple of threes. He's driven into the hoop. He's drawn a foul. 3-ball left short. That was number 15, Paul Carcel. Snohomish getting another attempt. Smith still looking for his first points. He's going to try one more from the free throw line. Leaves it short once again. There seems to be a theme there with him tonight. Lynnwood coming down with the rebound as we're down to the 2-minute mark left here in the first quarter.
And Snohomish is getting multiple shots. They're getting lots of offensive rebounds. They're just not able to hit from outside. When they get a little, if they start to warm up, they could pull right back into this ball game.
Extremely frustrating for a coach. And there is another three ball. Jaden Acosta Newsom. We just mentioned how he was coming in off the bench. He gets his first bucket of the night, and it's a tray. 17-4 first quarter. Completely unexpected as Snohomish continues to struggle looking for the three, and they finally connect. Captain Louis Balcarcel with his first three of the night. He now has 5 of the first 7 points. Panthers cut the deficit down to 10. Alex Macias dishing off. There's the hot hand. Newsom puts up a floater. Guess who?
Can't miss.
That's called being in the zone, right?
Well, and the guys know it. They're out there saying, hey, who's hot? Hey, 3-3's hot. Keep feeding him the ball, see what happens.
And having the quarter of a lifetime right now. Only a sophomore, too, I might add. So nice game for Gabe Newsom.
He's getting tired, though. He's got his hands on his hips down playing defense, kind of sitting down there in the zone saying, I'll just be down here.
All those buckets wear you out after a while.
That's right.
There's a shot from about 12 feet out using the backboard. Balcarcel couldn't get it to go.
Another offensive rebound, another miss.
Another rebound for Smith, and once again, he's still bucketless here in the first quarter. We're now down to 33 left in the quarter.
You can't leave Balcarcel that wide open in the corner.
Second consecutive possession that Balcarcel has come down and hit a three. Makes it a 19-10 game. He now has 8 points in the first quarter. So it seems to be the Balcarcel-Newsom show thus far.
Yeah, if you're Lynnwood on that last possession by Snohomish, you got to put a hand in his face. Especially, you can't leave him that wide. There wasn't a guy within 8 feet of him.
Yeah, when you've got a three-point shooter, not a good idea.
Yeah.
Speaking of three-point shooters, Acosta Newsom puts up a shot. Down to the final second, buzzer goes off. Not sure it would have counted either way. It doesn't matter. The shot is off, and we are through a 1 quarter of play. Gabe Newsom, 12 points here in the first period. The Lynnwood Royals leading the Snohomish Panthers 19-10. You're watching STSPN.com. To one of our sponsors there, McDaniels, helping to bring this game to us tonight here on STSPN.com. Steve Willits, Tom Lafferty, Todd Elvick back here at Snohomish High School. We're the Royals with the early 19-10 lead as we head into the second period of play. And Tom's, like you said, Snohomish keeps getting second and third looks. They just can't get those buckets to fall. I'd like to think if you can keep battling on the boards, you can get right back into this thing quickly.
Well, yeah, getting boards right there, a defensive board for Bernorden. Give yourself a chance. You know, it's not going to. You're not going to get a 9-point play, but you know they were down by 13. Now it's 9, so that you chip away at it. But Lynnwood can't let themselves down and not play defense.
And I think the Royals finally heard what you were saying there. As Balcarcel had the ball in the corner, and this time they said, "No, we're going to put a defender out there."
Yeah, we got to put somebody on him.
That's Jordan Glover, another sophomore who got a lot of playing time as a freshman last year on varsity. A player that they like very much for their future, so he's going to get a little playing time here in the second quarter. You know,
Lynnwood is streaky. They won 4 in a row, and now they've lost their last 5 in a row.
Yeah, and a couple of those losses were close ones. I know they had a tournament over in Wenatchee that we, matter of fact, you and I had Bobby Hinnenkamp on our radio show. And I think they went down to Mount Rainier during the holiday break also and lost another tightly contested game.
Yeah, lost by 9 to Mount Rainier, 63-54 on the 28th of December.
Another three ball. This time it's Benyam Muselli, his first basket of the night. Making it a 22-10 game.
Now we're going to have a foul kind of a little bit away from the ball.
They're going to call that one on Jaden Acosta-Newsome, his first foul. And we talked about Snohomish getting in foul trouble early. They picked up 4 fouls within the first 2 minutes, have not committed a foul since. So now it's 4-4 on the foul total.
Yeah, they've tightened up the defense on Ball Carcel.
And to Jim Wilson's credit, he's left McDaniel in there the majority of the time. We're going to get another foul call. I think we just went ahead and put a little jinx there on Lynnwood. We started talking about how it's getting a little cleaner, and then all of a sudden Macias reaches in and picks up his first foul. That's 5 now against Lynnwood here in the first half.
Well, they were double teaming, but double team, you got to use your body. If you start reaching in, you're going to get called for the foul every time.
That was Brandvold with a shot from about 6 feet away. Missed it. Lynnwood looking to push. Nice pass from Macias to Tang. Tang goes up. Count the bucket. Lynnwood back on top by now 14, their largest lead of the night. Tang could make it 15 with a free throw.
What a great pass. Coming down there, kind of a semi-no look. He knew exactly where it was going, and he didn't bonk his teammate in the head. He knew the ball was coming.
It's going to be Colton Smith with the foul. No, they're actually going to change that now. Ball Carcel with his first. A little replay there. Nice pass from Macias. Tang making the bucket and then converting the three-point play. His first points of the night. 25-10. So just as we were saying how Snohomish was starting to chip away, Lynnwood jumps out to their largest lead of the night, and it's going to get even larger here as it looks like Acosta-Newsome with a steal. Easy layup. He now has 5 points on the evening. 27-10. Jim Wilson says, you know what, we've seen enough. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it here since it is just a quick one. Oh, we're going to take a break, so we'll be right back. You're watching STSPN.com.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At G&S, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi electric cooling and heating system allows you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. And because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call G&S Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
You're watching STSPN.com.
Welcome back to Snohomish High School.
That's perfect.
Lynnwood Royals not being the pleasant visitors so far as they are beating the home team by 17 points early here second quarter. 27-10. They're on an 8-0 run to start the second period. Snohomish says, no, we're going to put an end to that right now as Jacob Brandvold drives into the lane for his first bucket of the game, making it 27-12.
I'm thinking that was the message from Jim Wilson. Let's attack the rim. Let's go. Let's get down there, get low. Don't float around outside and wait for something to happen. Attacking right there, he just split the defense and goes through and lays it in.
And we'll see if maybe the timeout creates a little bit of a spark, something they certainly need. And they're going to get a travel here as Acosta-Newsome picks up his dribble, shuffles his feet, and the ball's going to go right back over to the Panthers. Lynnwood looking to put a little press on here. Paul Carcel finally breaking it over the line to McDaniel. They're going to get it back over to Brandvold. Let's see if they get a little more aggressive here, as you talked about a moment ago. Carcel picking up the dribble, getting it over to Brandvold. Brandvold into the lane, kicks it back out. McDaniel thought about the three, kicks it into the corner. Paul Carcel, not the shot you want if you're Lynnwood anyway. Snohomish doing a nice job of getting on the offensive boards. While Carcel, once again, with another nice attempt, had the opportunity, works out to their benefit as Brandvold with an offensive board, goes back up, lays it in, and he will go to the line for a three-point opportunity.
And Brandvold just stood his ground, stayed under there, got good position, blocked out the defender and said, hey, I'm going to get an offensive rebound, put it back up and in, chance for another three-point play.
Timmy Tang picking up the foul, his first, as Josh Siskar checks into the game. 6'1" sophomore. We'll say this about Lynnwood, playing a lot of sophomores and juniors tonight. Brandvold makes the free throw, gives him 5 points on the night. And the young guy's playing fairly well so far, I might add. Driving in towards the hoop, kicking it out into the corner. That's Siskar with the ball. Tang back out on top. Picking up that screen. Siskar's going to get into the lane. Floats one up. Off the back iron. Bounces out. Nice rebound by Colton Smith. Snohomish looking to push it in on the other end. Brandvold into the lane. Loses it off of his leg. I think that ball might have been tipped away. Getting in there very quickly is Glover.
Yeah, I think the defender just got a little fingernail on it just to affect the flight of the ball.
Sometimes it doesn't take much. As Lynnwood now back out in three-point territory. Tang floats one up. Misses it.
Boy, I'm not sure that's the shot Bobby Hinnenkamp wanted that early in the shot clock.
Especially when you're about 3 feet behind the line. I think they were starting to feel their oats a little too much there.
And especially when you're up by a dozen. You know, it's early to start thinking about using the clock, but you know what? You can use a little bit of the clock rather than, well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, with the 12-point lead, it's always a good thing.
And fling it up from 21 feet.
Bobby's not going to be happy with that one either as Anthony Jew picks up his foul. A little body check there. That's going to put them into the bonus with their 7th foul of the night. It's going to send Brandvold to the line for a one-on-one opportunity. Checking back in for the Royals, number 23, Carson Spiegel, the 6'2" junior. Brandvold leaving that one really short, barely got the rim even. Lynnwood right there to grab the rebound. Once again, not wasting any time trying to push it into the lane. Newsom kicks it back out. Spiegel's going to put up a 3-ball. Looked good initially, hits the back iron, bounces off, and we're going to get a foul called against Lynnwood as they were attempted for an offensive board there, and unfortunately for them, they
short
more
ball
contact
seems
involved,
to
and that's
be
going to give
theme.
Jew his 2nd foul.
Yep.
Oh, they're going to actually say that was on Snohomish.
Yeah, the foul is going to be on Snohomish. I think pushing on, trying to grab the rebound. Brandvold picked up the foul. That's his 2nd.
So now Snohomish 1 foul away from being in the bonus. 3-ball floated up by Tang. Misses that one. Finally coming away with it is McDaniel. Ball gets loose momentarily. Brandvold able to recover it. Gets it ahead to McDaniel, and now Snohomish looking to potentially cut this down to 9 points. Will they do it? They will.
Ooh, that was nicely done.
Cameron Bernardin.
He went around that screen, and then he looked up, and it was just nothing but air in front of him. He says, see you later, and down it goes.
I'm not sure what Jim Wilson said during the timeout, but whatever it did, whatever he said, it works. They are now on an 8-0 run since that time, which may come to an end with Lynnwood going to the free throw line as Anthony Jew draws contact, and he'll go to the line for a 1-and-1. Paul Purcell picking up his 2nd foul. A game of streaks so far, Tom.
It has been. Yeah.
And the streak might continue.
Yeah, the streak continues. That's going to be, that's white ball. That's Snohomish's ball.
Nice job by Calvin McDaniel. He was going out of bounds, knew he couldn't grab the ball in time. It looked like that was number 10, Jew, that was going along with him and just threw it right off of his chest. And Snohomish is going to take over the possession already with 8 straight points and looking for more right now. McDaniel kicks it over to Smith. Smith puts up a long floater, misses it. Another Snohomish offensive board. Will we get another? No, we will not. Plenty of second chance opportunities, and they're just not capitalizing right now.
Going back to the play before this last rebound, Bernardin was smart. He knew he was going to get the over back foul, so he just reached in, stayed back with his body, and just flipped it out to his teammate, knowing he was right over his shoulder. So that was of course, then the putback didn't go.
Calvin McDaniel now picking up his 3rd foul. Took him a while to get there, but he ends up picking up one here with 3:01 to go, and now they'll take him and let him sit the rest of the quarter, presumably, or the rest of the half, to make sure he doesn't pick up that 4th before we get to the intermission. Gabe Newsom, a name we haven't called in a while. We won't call his name again here as he misses the free throw. 12 points in the first quarter, still looking for his first points here in the 2nd quarter. Right down on the other end, Snohomish floats one in from about 8 feet out, misses it. Another attempt. That was Brandvold, went up for the reverse. He misses it, but teammate is right there to put it in, and we get our 10th straight bucket there for Snohomish.
Nice job by Colt Smith. Just stayed alive, stayed in there. Like I said earlier about Brandvold, Smith just stood his ground, got the offensive rebound.
Nice job by Carson Spiegel. He ends the 10-0 run. Colton Smith, by the way, averaging 17 points per game. That was his first bucket of the night, and they needed it. We're going to get a timeout here. 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. 29-20 is our score. You're watching STSPN.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
And welcome back to Snohomish High School. Steve Willits, Tom Lafferty, Todd Elvick, almost to the end of the first half here in what's been a very entertaining game, a game of streaks thus far. Lynnwood jumping out to a 27-10 lead. Snohomish since then has gone on a 10-2 run to make it a 9-point game. And Tom Lafferty, Snohomish with the ball one more time here. This game could get very interesting before we're at the break.
Well, I think streak is the theme of the night. As we mentioned, Lynnwood had 4 wins in a row, then has lost their last 5. Snohomish has lost their last 3, and they kind of broke it up. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games. So it's been streaky up and down from the time you get off the bus until you get here in the morning for practice.
So it's very fitting what we've had so far. And Gabe Newson, we just talked about him before we went to commercial. 12 points in the first quarter, had yet to score until now in the second quarter as he gets the steal and ultimately converts the bucket there. 31-20 score with 2 minutes to go in the half. And there's a nice layup. Carter Sparks getting on the board for the first time tonight.
A breakdown defensively because it was wide open. It looked like the red carpet at the Oscars going down that red lane. Without Joan Rivers standing there interviewing you.
Beautiful pass, by the way. Anthony Jew kicks it down low to Siskar. And the sophomore ready to convert that basket. Beautiful play. Lynnwood now back out to an 11-point lead once again, 33-22. So we're now down under a minute and a half to go here in the half.
Yeah, right there. There was nobody within 15 feet of the basket. Everybody stayed above the foul line, and finally Balcarcel said, here I am.
And, right there, they just gave him that lane wide open. I mean, they were free to pass it wherever they wanted to just now, and Brandvold, who missed his initial shot, was able to get the rebound and took advantage of that situation.
Did he miss 2? He made the one that didn't count. I thought he missed 2 and then made the one that didn't count because he's got 2 shots coming up here.
They're going to say he's going to the line for 2, so you're absolutely right. The whistle did blow. Misses the first shot. He's 1 for 3 in the quarter at the line. 5 points on the night. 1:13 to go here in the first half. Nice little crowd here for a Tuesday night in January. Misses the second shot in Lynnwood. Boy, do they wish they had that one over again as Josh Siskar had the ball go off of his own hand. No one around him at all, just couldn't quite come up with it and went to clasp the 2 hands together. And unfortunately, when he did, there was no basketball there. It was crossing the baseline, and Snohomish with a nice break here.
Yeah, you know what? They'll take it.
Absolutely. You're not going to pass those up. And they're going to take it rather quickly. Their long 3 misses it. But Norden, I'm not sure that's the shot they wanted either.
No.
He takes it either way, and here comes Macias pushing forward.
Jim Wilson stood straight up as soon as that happened, kind of stared at Bernorden coming down the floor.
Count the basket, by the way. Josh Siskar, spin move, gets around the defender, draws contact, lays it up and in. He now has 4, and he's going to go to the line to potentially make this a 14-point Lynnwood lead as we're now down to 57 seconds to go in the quarter.
Gabe Newson kind of tweaked his knee. He kind of came out of there and was walking strangely. He just kind of pulled it up and stretched it.
So not a good sequence of events for Cameron Bernorden. He misses a 3 badly on one end, and then he goes down and draws a foul on a 3-point play, which Siskar converts, makes it 36-22. And, yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on Newsom. That's the last thing Lynnwood needs tonight with Jerry Boston already on the bench. 22-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Balcarcel getting tied up there. What are we going to get? We're going to get a jump ball called. Possession arrow goes to Snohomish, so they will keep the ball with 14 to go on the shot clock.
Those heads-up defense there just reached through. Kind of awkward looking, but they did call the jump ball.
Anthony Jew, he seems to get his hand on he's gotten his hand on a few different balls tonight, whether it's on shots or dribbles or passes, and certainly aiding in this lead here as finally a 3-ball goes for Brandvold. Cuts the lead to 36-25 as we're now down under 25 seconds to go here in the half. Let's see if Lynnwood wants to play for a final possession or what they want to do here. certainly would like to take a double-digit lead into the half, and that's exactly what they're going to do. As Macias with the ball up on top, 8 seconds to go. Spiegel looking to give him a screen. Kicks it over to Siskar. We're down to 2 seconds. Siskar lays it up, gets it to fall, and in. Siskar with 7 points, all coming in the second quarter, 5 of which in the final minute, and that extends Lynnwood's lead to 38-25. The Royals pulling off a bit of an upset perhaps tonight. We'll see. A lot of basketball left to play. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching STSPN.com.
Chevy trucks. We think it's because Chevrolets are
the most dependable trucks
built to last
a long time.
with durable durability
And
ruggedness.
son of a gun, Chevrolet pickups are
Designed and built
better
than ever, giving you a smooth, solid ride
since 1918.
I like the extra power.
hauling power, super
powerful.
Nasty power!
and quality.
Seems they make them
Strong, extra strong.
stronger every year.
Chevy trucks are built for work
Hard work.
and for play.
That's why Chevy's the best truck.
Mile after
Mile.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, we are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
NBA free ball. He just absolutely drains that one.
Your dreams evolve, and with committed support, they thrive. American Family Insurance.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Steve Willits, Tom Lafferty, Todd Elvick here at Snohomish High School, where the Lynnwood Royals looking to run their record to 2-3 in league play. They're off to a nice start so far, 38-25 lead here at the half. Tom, it always helps when you can jump out to a 17-4 run to start a game, and Lynnwood, it's been a little back and forth since then, but really kind of riding that early momentum, and they've got a 13-point lead because of it.
Well, that's what you want. As Lynnwood, they jumped out. They were up by as many as 17 points in the ball game. Yeah. Got down to 9, but they just kept that cushion, that buffer. Now the thing is, in the second half, can they hold on to that? Can they stay tough? And I'm guessing that Jim Wilson in the locker room said, and they did it a little bit in the second quarter, we need to attack. We need to go. We need to get inside underneath. And if the outside, if we get somebody hot from the outside, that's just well and good. Let's get lay-ins. And let's make lay-ins.
And we haven't seen a lot of continuity so far. It's been kind of all over the place. One team goes on a 10-0 run. The other one seems to answer. If it's going to be a game of runs, obviously Snohomish has to have 1 or 2 more than Lynnwood does, or perhaps get that little 6-0, 8-0, or even like a 10-2 run and keep the momentum going. They haven't been able to sustain that. We saw them cut this lead down to 9 points. It wasn't that long ago with about a minute and a half left, and thought maybe they'd even try to make that run and cut it down even more. They had an opportunity with the ball. And Lynnwood very quickly changing that and kind of regaining their momentum and pulled out ahead again. And I've got to think that does wonders for their psyche going into the locker room, knowing that they didn't almost quote-unquote blow a lead right before the half.
And we should talk about a big game tomorrow night right here on STSPN.
Yeah, hot off the presses, if you will, right? A change has been made. Todd Elvick shaking his head, yes. The Monroe Bearcats and the Glacier Peak Grizzly boys basketball game will, in fact, be broadcasted here on STSPN tomorrow. Glacier Peak 5-0 in league play. Monroe 4-1. I'm no math major, but I think that means that first place is going to be decided tomorrow night.
But you know what's interesting? On the RPI, this week's RPI, Glacier Peak is 19, and I can see that. They're 9-1, 5-0. They're behind the Lewis and Clarks and the Kennedy Catholics and the Curtises, and the number 1 4A team is, of course, Gonzaga Prep, Skyview number 2. But Monroe is way down at 41.
Wow.
What that means is, even though Monroe comes into the ballgame tomorrow night at 9-2 overall, I'm guessing some of those 9 wins were against some lowly opponents.
We were looking at that schedule when I was over at watching them play Kamiak last week, and even some of the parents were acknowledging that, yeah, the non-conference schedule wasn't as tough as it could have been this year. And quite frankly, that's something that these coaches and athletic directors need to start, and they are starting to do so, but they need to take that into account more and more as they're putting these schedules together. Really, if you're 9-2 on a season, shouldn't be down at 41 out of 65 teams, right, in an RPI ranking.
Now, a win over Glacier Peak tomorrow night for Monroe moves their RPI up big time. They'll jump 10 slots. And not just the Huskies play a cupcake schedule.
Yeah, and that is so vital, though, especially in this day and age where you're trying to get into the Tacoma Dome and trying to get there the first time around without having to play in a regional game, if you will. Lynnwood driving to the hoop. Anthony Jew puts one up, misses it. Snohomish quickly grabbing the rebound, and they now have their first possession of the second half. Not rushing it too much yet. Plenty of time here.
Oh, yeah, just 13 points just underway in the second half. That's lots and lots of time.
And yet, so many times we see teams start to kind of get out of their game plan and try to get everything back all at once. And really, with 16 minutes to go, it's not necessary at all. And Snohomish, in doing so, is going to pick up a foul on Lynnwood as Timmy Tang reaches in to pick up what I believe is his second. His scoreboard showing first, but I have him down for an extra from the first half. What are we going to get called up here? We're going to get a floor foul. I thought initially that perhaps Colton Smith was going to head to the line shooting 2, but they're going to say that foul took place beforehand.
You know, talking about the RPI and the 3A boys, Lynnwood comes into this game at number 54, Snohomish at number 61, so 4 from the bottom.
61 out of 65.
61 out of 65. Oak Harbor's at 59. Shorewood is dead zip last. Number 65. The number 1 3A team, well, see if you can guess. Lincoln of Tacoma, O'Day, Garfield, Eastside Catholic, Rainier Beach, Franklin, Shorecrest at number 7.
I've heard of a few of those teams. 3 ball up in the air. It is good. Carson Spiegel extending that lead to 14 points. We should mention that Colton Smith on the other end made a basket there to give Snohomish their first 2 of the half. And we're going to get a traveling called against Snohomish here too. So not only does Lynnwood connect on a 3, but they might even have a chance to score more yet before they go down to the other end of the floor.
Mentioning Shorecrest at number 7, Marysville Pilchuck at number 9 in the RPI.
We might have to look around on Twitter here in a little bit to see if we can get a score from that game. That is a huge matchup tonight. And as you mentioned earlier, Wesco 3A, they only play each other once, excluding what could be a district matchup, obviously, but only 1 game during the regular season. So that one's going to loom large for where one of those 2 teams is going to rise up potentially in the RPI rankings tonight. Down low, nice pass. There's Gabe Newsom. He gets the bucket. Give him now 16 for the game, and Siskar picking up the assist. Lynnwood now up to a 16-point lead.
That was a nice pass by Siskar. Just a bounce pass right in stride for the lay-in.
Good old-fashioned fundamentals right there, right? That's how they teach it.
Brings a tear to your eye with a bounce pass.
You don't always see that in this day and age. I think some kids wonder what a bounce pass is. Colton Smith down low. He misses the shot. Ball is loose on the floor. Scramble for it, and finally coming away with it is Calvin McDaniel. Snohomish will keep the possession. Certainly not a possession they were ready to give up yet, as they need to get a bucket here. They're down by 16. Down low, Colton Smith. This time he's not going to miss. He now has 4 for the quarter, 6 for the game.
And a nice pass by Jacob Brandvold that time. Just kind of threaded the needle between a couple of defenders, and Smith was right there, hit the lay-in.
Anthony Jew drives in, kicks it out to Tang. Long 3, he hits it.
The lefty puts it in from 3 range.
Nice shot by Timmy Tang, 6 points on the night. And guess what? We're going to get yet another travel called against Snohomish in the backcourt.
Well, Lynnwood's kind of sort of running away with this one.
Just unforced errors. You can error in the sense that they were putting a little pressure on them, but really nobody even within 5 or 6 feet of Brandvold. No need to travel on that play. Cannot give Lynnwood the ball back, especially with Tang with a hot hand. He hits it again. Timmy Tang, back-to-back threes. Lynnwood with their largest lead of the night, 49-29. Jim Wilson says we need a timeout. 5:29 to go, third quarter. We'll take yet another break. You're watching STSPN.com.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. We are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Except not for you, because you must have something special.
Yeah, she asked me for my shirt size today. And welcome back to Snohomish High School. The Lynnwood Royals on fire right now. Back-to-back 3 balls from number 1, Timmy Tang, the 6-foot junior. 6 foot, 6 consecutive points. 20-point lead for the Royals here. And Tom Lafferty, if you are Snohomish, you need to reach deep into that bag of tricks right now. You need to come up with a big 5.5 minutes of third quarter so you can get back into this game before the fourth starts.
Well, I think you just have to figure you got to win the rest of the quarter, and then you just got to take your chances in the fourth. But they're just the lay-ins aren't going in. They're getting lots of offensive and defensive rebounds. They just can't. The shots won't go down. And especially Lynnwood then got on a hot hand there. A couple of three balls opened it all the way up to 20.
Smith being trapped in the corner, finally kicks it over.
There you go.
Bouncing it off of his own foot is number 23, Benorden. And really, Cameron Benorden, very quiet tonight. 5 points. Colton Smith, 6 points. Those two guys alone averaging close to 37 points per game and combining for 11 right now. And that's been a huge factor right in this game so far.
Yeah, Tang, you got to keep a hand in his face.
Tang almost traveling with that ball. Absolutely, yeah, he's got 2 already. You think he's thinking about shooting? Thought about it right there. Kicks it out to Newsom before he travels. Newsom back to the basket, falls down, knocks it over into the hands of Siskar. Down to 11 on the shot clock. Ball bats off the hand of Smith, right back into his own possession here. We're down to 6 on the shot clock. Siskar, underhand layup, rolls off of the rim, but he's going to go to the line for 2.
Talk about tomorrow night's game here on STSPN with Monroe and Glacier Peak. Our radio game next Tuesday it's a big event.
It's a huge event. Coaches versus Cancer. This very same Snohomish Panther team traveling on over to Arlington High School to take on the Eagles as Josh Siskar hits the first free throw.
And they do such a nice job, and you're even kind of a guest of honor.
I am a little bit, yeah. Not necessarily.
But I'm making you work too.
Yeah, you're going to make me work, so a little bit of everything. It's going to be an interesting night. I'm anxious for it, but I'm also a little nervous all at the same time. So yeah, coaches versus Cancer game. Every year, Arlington High School and Karen Brown, the wife of head coach Nick Brown, really spearheads that deal. And
cancer survivor.
Cancer survivor herself puts together just a fantastic event. I know she has a lot of volunteers helping her. Shot bounces around and finally rims off. That was number 15, Captain Louis Balcarcel. He's going to go to the line for 2. And yeah, a nice event. They usually sell pink shirts, and it's very festive in the sense that it's very much geared around raising money and awareness for cancer. And my own experience this year, losing my mom to cancer 2 months ago, and family that plays on the Arlington basketball team. So Karin asked if I would be one of the honorary coaches for the game, which I think means.
So are you going to be drawing up plays and stuff?
If that is the case, then Snohomish has a very good chance. I'm sure Jim Wilson would love it if I'm over on Nick Brown's sideline doing that. But no, I think I get to be involved in the introduction ceremony there as the free throw was missed by Balcarcel. Didn't make one of the two. 30-51 game.
That's just a nice move. That's a nobody's in my way. Hey, I'm taking it to the rack, and he puts it up and in. Nicely done there.
Yeah, Gabe Newsom now with 18 points on the night, 53-30. And yeah, I guess during that game you're going to put me to work, so I will be doing some sideline reporting. Well,
sure.
You and Bill are on the call for the game, correct?
You bet. Oh, we're going to have a foul call. I thought maybe they would have a jump ball, but they're going to go for the grab instead.
I'm going to say Timmy Tang had part ball, part Cameron.
More I think more arm than ball on that one. When they kind of look like they're doing the do-si-do there, swinging around.
And that generally does draw a foul as Tang picking up his second foul. 4 on Lynnwood here in the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. So I guess if you're looking for a bright spot, Snohomish getting that much closer to being in the bonus for the rest of the game.
I don't know if that's much of a bright spot.
I was reaching there as Louis Balcarcel gained the bucket. He now has 3 points in the quarter, 11 on the night, 53-32 score. Lynnwood now trying to maintain momentum. This is a spot where they're probably not used to being in a situation to where they've got a large lead, and sometimes teams need to know how to play in these opportunities too, in these moments. You tend to get a little bit lax and maybe take shots you don't normally and get a little too complacent, and that often will open yourself up to being vulnerable for runs, and we'll see if Snohomish can take advantage of it. Colton Smith for the 3. He connects. Smith now catching some fire this quarter. He now has 7 points in the third.
I'll tell you,
the
most nervous guy in the room right now is still Bobby Hinnenkamp, because he's watching his team coming down. The last possession, kind of a flip up that didn't go. Snohomish comes down, buries the 3. This time, kind of a flip up that got bailed out here by having the ball go out of bounds. So Lynnwood keeps it.
And all of a sudden, Snohomish with a 5-0 run. They've cut it within 18. Right. There's still time left as Benyam Muselli checking back in for Lynnwood, wearing the number 5.
Yeah, it was 23 points.
Yeah, quick 2 ball followed up by a 3 by Smith, and all of a sudden this is an 18-point game. Alex Macias still looking for his first basket of the night.
10 to shoot.
There's the shot that they were looking for. Timmy Tang missing the shot. Nice hustle there. Newsom comes flying in, knocks it over to Acosta Newsom, and Bobby Hindenkamp, recognizing the fact that his player was laying on the ground, decides to call a quick 30. Very wisely saves the possession.
Have I mentioned lately I don't like when the coaches can call a timeout in a situation like that?
Oh, do tell. It's changed the complexion of things, hasn't it?
Well, he didn't have possession. He was laying on the ground and playing SWAT ball. He didn't have possession of it.
Well, the funny thing is in that particular situation, I mean, obviously hindsight is 20/20, right? But as it turns out, Newsom was able to get the ball over to Acosta Newsom. Hindenkamp, if he wanted to, could have. I mean, right now, does he really need the timeouts? Probably not. But, I think Bobby came running in not sure of how that was going to play out and ended up utilizing a timeout and using one that he didn't really need to even burn. But you're absolutely right. We do see that time and time again with players flying through the air or getting ready to go out of bounds or getting trapped with the ball on the ground, and all of a sudden, they get to throw it in from out of bounds, right?
And at that point, the players can call timeout. That's fine, but not the coach. But it's that way in college, too.
Yeah,
so.
no, I agree. I liked it better when the player had to show that they had a basketball IQ and could get that done. Nice job there as Tang on the inbound gets it over to Acosta Newsom. Easy bucket for him, 7 points tonight.
That was drawn up by Bobby Hindenkamp during that timeout. Hey, if we're gonna call the timeout, let's draw up an inbounds play.
Let's get a two-pointer out of it, and that's exactly what they did. Brandville down low, can't get it to go, and then I think in frustration gets all over Acosta Newsom, and he's going to pick up a foul in the process.
Snohomish's shooting stats have to be atrocious.
Yeah.
They just aren't going down.
We're not keeping them here up in the booth tonight, but certainly you've got to think that with all these second and third chances, Snohomish probably would, with more field goal attempts, quite frankly, than Lynnwood, and yet they're down by 20.
Yeah.
Snohomish trying to put on a little press. Lynnwood easily breaking it. Acosta Newsom kicking it over to Tang. Tang throwing it over to Glover, who's back in the game. Alex Macias looking to get into the lane, floats it back out, picked off very wisely by Barnorden.
Missed the lay-in.
Misses the lay-in, and he's done that a few times tonight, as have some of his teammates. Lynnwood wasting very little time. A quick three, and he hits it. You better drill that one, Jaden Acosta Newsom. If you're going to pull up that quickly and from that far behind the arc, better darn well make sure you know what you're doing, and he did.
He had no teammates in the area. They were all nobody was yet below the volleyball, the green line there. They weren't down there yet, so you better put that sucker right through, and he did.
That's one of those where as soon as it leaves your hands, you're thinking to yourself, Coach is going to kill me, Coach is going to kill me. And then it goes in, and, hey, Coach is all right.
No, nice shot is what that was.
Three ball on the other end. Snohomish trying to answer it with one of their own. They miss it. Chase Taylor in for the first time tonight. He was the attempted shooter on the play, and Lynnwood now 23 points up, looking for more. Glover into the lane, kicks it out to Acosta Newsom, hits again.
That may have been it. That was the possession right there. They moved it around. They had a nice open look, and it just went nicely through and opened up their biggest lead of the game.
Biggest lead of the game with 1:07 to go in the third quarter.
And
I have no idea what's going on here.
Leo Tini, that's called an inadvertent whistle. Lee thought that Jim Wilson was up to call a timeout. He wasn't. He was just glaring at his players.
That was a very interesting exchange as Otini looked over at Wilson, and Wilson looked back at him like, what? What do you want?
And Bobby Hindenkamp looked down and was like, what is this? And he goes, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah, he's got the 26-point lead. He's not going to stress it too much.
That's right.
Into the lane. Balcarcel kicks it out. Nice floater. Brandvold connects. His first points of the second half. Makes it a 61-37 game. Thought about the three, and they're going to say that he walked with it. Muselli, I think in his own mind, was debating whether or not he wanted to shoot it or drive. Decided to do neither. Decided to just start running with the ball and turning it right back over to Snohomish. Well, this is an interesting situation here for Snohomish. At what point do you kind of concede that you might be in a little bit of trouble here? Do you give some of the other guys a chance to play a little bit more tonight, or I guess you don't make that decision until you get into the fourth quarter, and that's going to come very quickly as Macias with a steal, but unfortunately for him, his feet were moving before he could fully get the ball ready to dribble and ends up running with it, and we're going to turn it back over to Snohomish with 23 seconds to go.
Well, Snohomish has Edmonds Woodway on Friday. They play a Saturday game against Cedar Crest here. We'll have that game on STSPN.com. And then next Tuesday, as we mentioned, at Arlington, home next Friday, the 19th, against Marysville-Pilchuck.
Things get a little rough there next week. And Stanwood and Shorecrest after that, right?
Right.
And Mount Lake Terrace. I mean, there's a 5-game stretch there that's just brutal.
Yeah, you go league games, Edmonds Woodway, Arlington, Marysville-Pilchuck, Stanwood, Shorecrest.
Mount Lake Terrace.
Mount Lake Terrace.
Yeah, Mount Lake Terrace is 9-1 or 10-1. Yeah, that's a gauntlet right there.
Yeah, Mount Lake Terrace 3-1 in league play, 10-1 overall. Of course, they're the 2A team in the 3A league, so they'll go to the other district tournament, which lets one of the lower teams in. But Snohomish, with a loss tonight, is going to drop precariously, as we mentioned early in the broadcast, out of that top 9. So really it's the top 10 teams that go into the playoffs, with Mount Lake Terrace not amongst the 3A teams.
Right. Yeah, so really you want to stay ahead. Oak Harbor, Marysville, Getchell, Shorewood. You kind of want to stay ahead of that group right there, and then potentially pass one of the others if you can. And those are some good teams in the middle of the – Everett has won 4 in a row, and I think they're playing Getchell tonight, so they could have a 5-game winning streak. And I think to start the season they were, 1-7. So a team that seems to be kind of figuring it out as the season goes along, and they're playing better basketball. They were a team that for a while I think teams like Lynnwood and Snohomish thought, well, perhaps we can jump over them and get one of those spots. But now all of a sudden Everett's a contender. So we'll see. 1 second to go on the clock. Glover floats it up from 18 feet out, misses the shot, and we've come to the end of the third quarter. Lynnwood dominating thus far. 61-37 is our score. We'll take a quick break and come back with the fourth quarter of action right here on STSPN.com. To STSPN.com. Steve Willits, Tom Lafferty, Todd Elvick here at Snohomish High School. A place with many memories for you, I'm sure, Tom. You've seen your share of Panther games and events over the years, as well as district matches and whatnot.
Lots of wrestling, lots of basketball, lots of stuff going on here. But I think it's a little bit too late here for the Snohomish Panthers. And, here in the first minute, if you can get a quick run, quick couple of 3 balls, but Lynn was doing a pretty good job holding on to the basketball, finding an open man, shooting it to the baseline.
Almost being too selfless there, as Glover had a shot that he passed up just in hopes of maybe burning off a little more clock. And, my goodness, Acosta Newsom had a nice steal on the play, and again, wanting to be selfless, tried to get it to Siskar, and he just wasn't ready for it.
No, he thought, well, he's going to take it in. No, he's not.
Well, I guess the good news for Lynnwood is you just burned 38 seconds off the clock.
Sure.
With a 24-point lead, not such a bad thing. Yeah, we just talked about some of the fact that you've seen so many great events and a lot of big memories from the Panthers. I don't think tonight's going to be one of them. But
no.
Coming down with the rebound there is Jordan Glover.
Yeah, this is not one that's going into the Hall of Fame.
Do you have a favorite moment from this, Jim? A nice job by Newsom. Reverse layup and give him now 20 points on the night.
Well, and we brought it up on our Prep Sports Weekly show with Carson Tuttle last year when he hit the game-tying shot in the district tournament.
That's right, the semifinals against Monroe, right?
Yeah. That was pretty darn good. And, of course, this is the time here watching John Brockman play.
Mm-hmm.
Watching John Brockman and during the Brockman-Apple. Do you remember how good a basketball it was?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Do you remember standing outside at Marysville not being –
I'm glad you remember my story there, yeah.
not being able
to watch Appleby play because I couldn't get in because it was sold out, yeah. Doubleheader, that was a mistake.
they weren't kidding. It was the fire marshal of Marysville standing outside the gym and said, that's it.
Yeah.
Unless one person comes out, only one's going in. And we were doing a TV game.
And you know what? It wasn't one or two of us outside that got left out either. It was a line that was going around the building.
Right.
They could have added a double-decker to that school, and they still may not have had enough seats for everybody.
And the night it wasn't in this gym. It was at the Stanwood gym. Ryan Appleby put up 53 the one night. And then 1 year later, same gym, Ryan's gone. John Brockman at 55 at Stanwood.
Did they have to get new nets after that? Or how did they?
Yeah.
Hey, Gabe Newsom, he's halfway to those guys just about at this point, as he's going to go back to the line for two. Going to get a foul on Colton Smith. Oh, no, they're actually going to change it. They changed it again. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Todd Elvig just pointed out that the scoreboard showing the third quarter, it really is the fourth. I'm sure that's something that both teams appreciate at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think Snohomish would want to play another quarter the way this one's going as Newsom hits the first free throw.
Yeah, I'm thinking that driving into the game tonight, Jim Wilson wasn't thinking that we're going to lose by 28 or more points.
No, not even close. Well, especially after I heard the lineup changes. There's a nice steal by Glover. He goes up, puts it in. No, he's going to miss the shot, but he is going to draw the foul as Paul Carsel's going to send him to the free throw line. Yeah, I think we were all expecting a much more closely contested game tonight, and Lynnwood had other ideas.
You're talking about the Wesco 4A game tomorrow night, the Glacier Peak Monroe game. The top 6 teams go into the playoffs out of the Western Conference in the 4A. The first 1 and 2 get first-round byes, and so it's going to be Glacier Peak and Monroe, but Jackson and Kamiak are right there.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, well, Kamiak already defeating Monroe, and Jackson's starting to play better. They're a young team, and that's a fun league to watch right now. I ran into Daryl McNeil, the head coach at Cascade, the other night. Mm-hmm. They played Lake Stevens on Friday, and his son plays for Kings. So I was over at the Kings Archbishop Murphy game, and he was just dejected as can be because they lost to Lake Stevens on a last-second shot. And like he pointed out, he said, he goes, we've lost a 1-point game, and I think they lost a 3 or a 4-point game to Jackson about a week earlier. And he said, you reverse those games around, and we're in third place, and instead we're in sixth, then it's just it's a big difference in this league. And I did point out to him that the 3 and the 6 pretty much are in the same boat at the end of the year. They play each other. It's just a matter of where the game is played, but it's not as though you have to hop on an airplane or sleep in a hotel. But nonetheless, yeah, I mean, it's a matter of a couple of baskets being the difference between being 4 spots higher in the standings. It really is a league full of parity right now, unless maybe Glacier Peak has something different to say. And after watching what they did to Kamiak, perhaps that's the case. We'll find out.
Yeah, I did. That's something I didn't expect. The last Friday night out at Kamiak, I'm sorry, I did not expect this.
Yeah, you were at that game.
I was at that game, sending you out text and going, okay, they've doubled their score. Wow.
Your first text was 21-9 at the end of the first quarter, and I thought, you know what? Okay, you see runs in games, right? That's not completely shocking. And then when I got the 38-14 halftime, I was kind of blown away, and it didn't get any better after that. Did it?
No. In fact, they got just barely, so they didn't get to running clock with the 40 points.
We're going to get yet another turnover on Snohomish.
Yeah, bright spot for Snohomish tonight is going to be rebounding. The bad spot is going to be turnovers
and everything
else.
Certainly won't be defense there as Spiegel with an open look in the corner, and he drains the 3. Carson Spiegel, 8 points now on the night, 70-37. The lead keeps growing. We could be looking at a running clock situation here in a few minutes if it continues to go the way it is right now. 33-point lead.
The fact that game that night, I was talking, in fact, it was to the golf coach at Glacier Peak, and I said, well, we're just a couple points away from running clock. That's in basketball too? So, you bet, same rules. 40 points second half. Wow.
Nice job as Macias finally getting on the board tonight. He picks up his first bucket, 72-39. Yeah, I'm surprised at how many people don't realize that. I guess that's a good thing. That means you tend to go to games that are a lot closer.
Well, and it doesn't happen as much in basketball as it does in football. football, it's common to see a 49-0 halftime lead.
Right,
right. And, then we'll just go to running clock. Basketball, not so much. Probably more in girls than in boys basketball.
Yeah, there's definitely a discrepancy there sometimes in talent, and you do see those from time to time. And again, we might still see one here tonight, so we'll see how this goes down with a 33-point lead. Lynnwood with the ball. Macias driving in. Floats that one off the backboard, gets it to go. 35-point lead now is Macias with 4 points.
Lynnwood looks like a much better than a 5-7 team and a 1-3 team in league. They just do.
They certainly look like a team. I mean, the way that they flow and they move and they're just we talked about the fundamentals earlier, and they don't have that imposing look to them when they walk on the floor. They don't necessarily blow you away with the 6'6" and the 6'8" guys and the guys that just look like they're ready to jump out of the gym, but they just go out there and they play sound basketball, and
of course it's
35-point lead.
It's your competition too.
Yeah, definitely.
How they're playing.
Nice job there. Macias, Newsom can't finish it, but a beautiful pass. And I actually had a chance. I watched Lynnwood play back in, I guess it was late November against Mount Lake Terrace. They lost by 45 that night, and this does not look like the same Lynnwood team.
No.
And that's a nice, that's a compliment for Hinnenkamp and his staff right there. The fact that he's been able to take this team in the last few weeks and to bring them together and to get them playing up to a higher standard, especially at the right time as league play starts to kick in. All of a sudden, I'm starting to wonder if maybe they can't be a little more of a factor in these standings, and maybe they're not just aiming for a 8 or 9 seed. If they keep playing the way they are tonight, they could be looking at a much higher spot.
Well, and Lynnwood with a win here at Snohomish tonight. Friday night, that's tough. They travel up to Stanwood. No, excuse me, they're home against Stanwood. We have a girls' game on radio, Lynnwood at Stanwood, so we're doing that. And then Meadowdale next Tuesday, and then Shorewood. I mean, they could pick up, 2 out of 3 games, they could pick up a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, 2 of those 3 games right now, but if you could even make the argument they're favored definitely in 1 game, right, against Shorewood. And
they already lost to Marysville Pilchuck. Only lost by 3, though, 73-70.
I noticed that, too, and I wondered about that. Now I'm starting to maybe see why. They've certainly come out and look like a top-tier team tonight.
They have Stanwood Friday. They have Shorecrest Tuesday the 23rd. Those are really the toughest games. Arlington's mixed in there, Everett, Marysville, Getchell, and Shorewood. They could be right there.
And they finished their year with the home game against Arlington, right? And that's an Arlington team that, again, depending on how things play out, they could be in contention for them for one of the spots. So that might be for seeding that night. We'll see. Nice job by Valcarcel to hit the 3-pointer there to make it a 30-point game. Some of the young players out there right now is number 42, Jordan Glover, the sophomore, handling the basketball. Yeah, I'm really impressed with the way Lynnwood came out tonight, especially under the circumstances, knowing that one of their top players was not going to be suiting up and that they wanted to shuffle their lineup a little bit to try to create a spark, and it seems to have worked. We're down to 1 on the shot clock.
Wow.
Bailing him out. Snohomish, not good defense right there. Exactly what you want if you're Lynnwood, right? You
no basket.
Burn up the entire shot clock, and you still get to go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Actually,
I thought I saw a 2 being held up. That was the number that was calling that on Chase Taylor. So new 35-second clock after using up 34 seconds.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're now down under 3 minutes to go. I guess the one thing that remains to be determined is I think we know who's going to win the game. It's this shirt I have in my hand here. Speedway Chevrolet STSPN Player of the Game. I have a feeling it's going to be one of the guys wearing a black jersey tonight.
I would think that would be a good.
We certainly have a handful of candidates. A nice 3-ball there as Carcel's not going to quit playing basketball just quite yet. 4 3-pointers on the night for him. 17 points unofficially.
I think we're looking at Gabe Newsom, aren't we?
Newsom, yeah, 12 points in the first quarter when they went on that run. So certainly, I think there's a pretty good chance that we go with number 33.
Yeah, he's still out there, but I think he's about to retire to the bench here as the young guys are coming in. And
Jalen Francisco coming in for the first time tonight, the junior, 5'2". And we've also got number 30, Edgar Barnaby, who was their only swing player tonight. He played 3 quarters in the JV game, so he was only eligible for 1 quarter, and he's going to get a little PT here. Costa Newsom pulling down the rebound. Was that through the legs? It might have been. Wow. Kicks it over to Francisco.
Did he go 5-hole?
I think he went 5-hole through the legs of Bernard.
He traveled, yeah.
That was quite the impressive move. By the way, we got some of the Lynnwood. You mentioned you guys are doing the Lynnwood girls game next week, right?
Friday night.
Friday night. I see a few of the Lynnwood girls over there, including Nakia Boston sitting front row. Her brother Jerry, who we mentioned is out for the night with an injury, but young sophomore who's having a great season. Rachel Walsh right behind her. She's played on a few good Lynnwood Royals teams in her time, the senior. That should be a fun game. Lynnwood and Stanwood.
It should be an interesting game, I think. 2 teams, I think, that are still trying to find themselves. They're not the Lynnwood and Stanwood of 2 years ago. It's a different group.
Yeah, Stanwood's been a little banged up. I think when they're healthy, they can be. I'm not sure what they're looking like. They've got 3 seniors who are going to be playing college basketball next year. But they're certainly a team that can contend. Yeah, you're right about Lynnwood. It's not Michaela Pivick. It's not Jordan Edwards and Kelsey Rogers and some of those players, but it's still a very formidable opponent who is young and who seems to be winning their share of games this year. Down to 1:04 remaining. 74-49 is our score. This is not a bad-looking shirt. I'm kind of enjoying this, Todd Elvick.
Are we going to name you the player of the game?
I don't think it would fit me very well, would it? No, I can make it work. I'd show off some of the curves, but I think we'll give it to one of the players.
See your curves.
I don't think so either. I'd rather not show you, to be honest. Nice 3-ball there as Spiegel puts one in, his 3rd 3-pointer of the second half. I was pretty proud. We gave Jerry Boston an Athlete of the Week shirt on our weekly video show we do for the Edmond School District, and he's wearing it tonight on the bench. So
really?
These guys enjoy the shirts that they get from playing in these games.
We're always worried that you're going to leave the stadium and they've chucked the sweatshirt into the garbage can. Yeah,
that's why you make quality shirts, and that's what Todd Elvick does. He puts together a nice product here, and it's something that the guys would like to wear. It's got a little bit of a Monroe color look to it, too, so perhaps tomorrow night if the Bearcats – it's basketball, okay, is that what it is? If the Bearcats are able to defeat the Grizzlies tomorrow – basketballs are, in fact, orange, which is the color he went with, as he's pointed out to me, but it's called a teaser right there, trying to help you out with the promotion of the Monroe Glacier Peak game. Final buzzer goes off. The game has ended. The Lynnwood Royals are victorious tonight. 77-51 is our score. Royals running their record to 2-3 in league play, 6-7 overall. Snohomish, they also are now 2-3 in league play. However, they are now 4-8 overall. Tom Lafferty, if you are Snohomish, time to go to the locker room and have a little talk. I have a feeling it's not going to be a pleasant one tonight.
No, have a little talk. We got to get busy, boys, because we're going to end up and not play a 21st game this year if we don't get busy.
Speaking of getting busy, I'm going to head on down and grab Mr. Newsom and see if we can get an interview.
Okay, we'll take a break. Final score, 77-51. The final. We'll come back and have our player of the game interview right here on STSPN.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
And welcome back to Snohomish High School, where tonight the Lynnwood Royals come in and take the victory 77-51 over the Snohomish Panthers. And with us right now, our Speedway Chevrolet player of the game, Gabe Newsom. Gabe, congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, huge first quarter from you. You come out and you get 12 points in that first quarter. And we were making reference to it. It seemed like whatever you threw up, it was just going to go in. Did you kind of feel like you were in the zone early on there?
I felt like I was on fire. After I took that second shot that went in, I knew more was going to go in.
Interesting night for you guys. Jerry Boston out with an injury. Alex Macias not in the starting lineup. Definitely a different look for you. Was that in your mind as you went out there to take the court tonight that, hey, maybe I need to step up and do a little something extra?
Yeah. Our starters, I assumed that we'd go out and not play as well, and then they'd come in and take over, but we ended up taking over and did our job very well.
So, admit it, when you got off the bus today here, did you think you guys were going to win by 26 points?
I did not. I think it was going to be a very, very close game.
Hey, I was making reference to it during the broadcast tonight. I watched you guys play against Malik Terrace a few weeks ago, and you lost by 45.
Yeah.
Since that time, you guys seem to be catching fire. What has been the biggest difference for you guys? Is it just a matter of playing together, or is it something the coaches have done? What's been the biggest difference?
Teamwork.
Yeah?
We're playing as a team now. We're getting it done as a team. Simple as that.
Was that not happening before? Or was it just a matter
we fought on the court. We fought off the court. Now we're playing as a team.
So was there a moment in that period that things kind of changed? Was it one particular thing, or just a...
Just all of us got along better now. We're getting along good.
Talk about Coach. Tell us about Coach Bobby.
Coach Bobby, he's a great coach. He wants us to do our best, and we do it.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, looking ahead at the schedule, obviously it gets tough, and there's a lot of great teams in here. Are you guys starting to kind of watch the scoreboard a little bit when you guys leave here? Do you take to social media and see what other teams are doing? Is it?
Yeah, we just look at film, see what we need to do against these new teams, and we do it.
And you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Who's your next game against? We get the schedule right here.
It's home against Stanwood.
Tough squad there. Are you guys ready for Stanwood?
We got to prepare, watch film, and know what we got to do to beat them.
It seems easy enough. Get along as a team, work together, and watch some film, right?
We need to write a book.
Hey, Gabe, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Nice job tonight. Go enjoy that. 20 points, 12 of which came in the first quarter. Once again, he is the Speedway Chevrolet player of the game. Gabe, go ahead and enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming up.
No problem.
I think we're done.
We're done. Now let's get one more look at that shirt here, too. We got to see how this is going to – we'll get a picture of that here in a moment, too, as Todd Elvick, we're going to have you hold that up here. Sophomore gets put into the starting lineup, scores 20, and he even walks away with a T-shirt. Not a bad night, right, Gabe?
There you go.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks again, Gabe. Appreciate it. So we are done once again. He said it's nerve-wracking, but he did a great job. Just like he did on the court, off the court.
That's right.
Not a bad night for number 33.
He said, what am I going to say? I said, answer our questions.
And he answered them very well. So
he did.
Not bad at all. So, again, a big game coming up tomorrow night. We should kind of promote that one more time. Glacier Peak, Monroe, first place on the line.
For the boys' side. And so Mark Ockett, I think, is going to be on the call tomorrow night out at Monroe High School. Should be fun.
Got Bobby Martin and his teammates on one hand, Colby Kyle, the Princeton commit, along with some of his teammates, Tyler Sturgeon and Isaiah Cole and a few others who have been playing very well this year, Spencer Davidson. That's going to be a star-studded game, two very good teams. Two teams that are well coached and play as a unit together, and I think it's going to be a really fun game.
Right, should be great. Watch, it'll be a 40-point blowout. But I don't know which way.
Hey, either way, tune in to find out, right? You won't know
right.
if you're not watching. So STSPN.com. So we appreciate everything that Todd Elvick does, and hopefully Mark Ockett and the crew will have a great time tomorrow night. We had a good time tonight.
We had a great time.
Yeah,
great time.
We work together a lot on Thursday nights, but not usually on Tuesdays. So this was fun. I'm glad we were able to do this together.
Worked out well.
So, again, we're going to sign off right now. Once again, the final score, the Lynnwood Royals defeating the Snohomish Panthers 77-51. Lynnwood now 2-3 in league play on the season, 5-7 overall. And for Todd Elvick, Tom Lafferty, I'm Steve Willits. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.